Hey guys, welcome to YS Khong Driving. Yes, this is the Peugeot 5008 7-seater SUV. And now we're going to give you a short walk around to show you the more important features of this vehicle. Well, first off, it is a 7-seater. It's 5 plus 2. 2 seats at the back fold flat to give you a 5-seater, and if necessary, they come back up to give you a 7-seater configuration. Of course, being an SUV, it is very versatile in terms of space utilization. But most important is the power plant. We have a 1.6 liter turbocharged petrol engine that gives you 240 Newton meters and 165 horsepower. And drive is to the front wheels through a 6-speed automatic gearbox with paddle shifters too. So it makes a very fun SUV, even though it is more oriented towards the family. And this is a vehicle that you can actually have fun with whilst taking your family out for an outing, like for example to Genting Islands. Okay, let's take a look at the front, and that's the beautiful new grille of this vehicle, and that's the new lion logo. Okay, so this is the new grille, and it looks very interesting, kind of a lattice kind of work. And then you have LED projector headlights, and these are the daytime running lights, also LED. So the front looks very masculine, and it has a good presence. Okay, moving back, you have of course the SUV body and the cladding at the side. You can see that you have very wide doors. And here's an interesting thing about the doors. I'm just going to open the door, and you can see, look at this part. When you open the door, the inner part is still clean. You can see here, that is the sort of like mud cover, because it's a SUV and sometimes you tend to go into muddy areas. And this type of design keeps this part here clean, so that when you get out of the car, you won't dirty your pants with any dirt. Very good. And of course, down there you have the plastic cladding that goes around to the back. And looking at the back, you have a very straight and upright back, so this gives you maximum space. So the roof spoiler is part of the bodywork, and you can see here the curve of the glass at the back maximizes the space. So you see a very straight line, but they have put in some angles here to make it look not so straight. So there's some chrome lining that lines the outline of the windows, and there's a roof rail up there that allows you to put maybe a ski rack if you want to go skiing. The rear lights are also LED, and they look pretty good at night. And again, you can see here the tailpipe. Not sure if those are real tailpipes, but those rear bumper embellishes. So that's the rear bumper, and down here you have a chrome strip to save you from scratches. Yes, there's a rear wiper blade. Okay, the rear boot is electrical, and it opens up, and you can also decide where you want it to stop, yeah, just by pressing this button. and this is the boot. So there is a lot of room here. That's the tonneau cover that I just opened, and this one can be removed very simply. And you can see here there's a lot of room. So where's the spare tire? Let's look. Spare tire is underneath the car. Yes, the spare tire is there. And let's look at this seat. You pull this up and you pull this up, so you get an additional 2 seats. That's one there, and let's pull this one, and there you are. You have the 2 seats at the back. And let's see, let's take out the tonneau cover. Okay, that's the tonneau cover removed, and these are the 2 seats for the rear passengers. So at the front you get a single floating caliper and 18-inch alloy wheels with actually very big ventilated discs, and the suspension is McPherson struts. Yes, you can see how thick the disc is, and it's ventilated, and that's a single pot floating caliper. Whilst over at the back, you also get a solid disc and also a smaller caliper and a torsion beam arrangement at the back. Okay, here's looking at the engine. This is a 1.6 liter double overhead cam direct injection engine from the Peugeot group, and this one is turbocharged. You can see the turbocharger here. So horsepower, as said before, is 165 horsepower and 240 Newton meters of torque. Drive is to the front wheels through a 6-speed gearbox, and you can see here in relation to the wheel, the engine sits just in front of the front wheels. And again, you can see why the chassis is strong. You have the strut tower here and reinforcements that stretch across to the other side. So this body is very rigid. Also, you can see many efforts at weight saving. These are aluminum mountings to save weight, and also at the front there is minimum weight. It's just the grille and only the radiator is hanging in the front there. So as far as possible, all the weight is above the front wheels or just in front of it to keep the center of gravity within the car. So as you can see, most of the weight is put just in front of the front axle in order to maintain the balance of the vehicle. Okay, another interesting thing to note is you look at the windscreen wipers. The washers go through a tube and they come out where the wipers are. So the windscreen washing is with the wiper. So you can see here, same. The windscreen wiper fluid comes out through the center of the wiper. Yes, and it looks like the material for the bonnet is aluminum. Alright, entry to the car is either by using the key fob or just put your hand here and it will open. And here we are. This is the interior of the Peugeot 5008. You can see it is clad in black leather, and you have a 6-way adjustment for the driver's seat, and similarly the passenger seat is also electrically controlled. And you can see here the seats are kind of like semi buckets, and there's an airbag here. The total of 6 airbags for the Peugeot 5008. And up there, that's a panoramic sunroof that opens and also flips up the front part. So elsewhere you have a very nice looking dash, and here's a very unique shaped steering wheel, and flat at the top so you can see the meters, and flat at the bottom so it can clear your tires. Interesting. And elsewhere you have the aluminum pedals and of course the footrest. Okay, let's get in and start the car. Key down here, step on the brake and go. Okay, meters are digital, and that's a 10-inch screen. Okay, let's look at it from the back. Okay, here's a view of the dashboard from the front, and you can see now the flat top and flat bottom steering wheel, the instrument panel over there, and that's a 10-inch infotainment screen. And the rest of the dashboard you can see is like 2 tiers, and the color motif extends all the way to the side. So so the visual impact of the dashboard is actually very nice. You look like you feel like you're in the center of a cockpit, and you can see the controls are all angled towards the driver, and of course down there you see the pedal shifters. And the unique thing about these pedal shifters is that they are mounted on the steering column and don't follow the steering. And over here you have a very nice looking gear knob, and also this one is the terrain control switch. So elsewhere you have also, this is the sport button, and that's the electric handbrake, and the stop start button is in the front. Down there inside you have a USB port, a power socket, and also a wireless phone charger. Okay, here's stepping into the rear seats. Okay, this seat is set in the normal sitting position for the front, and I have about 5 or 6 inches of leg knee. Okay, this seat is set at a normal sitting position for the front passenger, and I'm sitting here, but I have about 5 or 6 inches of knee room. This is because they have what you call made the back of the seat concave to give it a bit more room, and of course there's that space down there for me to put my feet. Now here's an interesting thing. This seat can also go backwards, and this gives you even more room. Of course, if you do this, the guys at the back won't get enough space lah. But if you're just having a 5-seater, this is fine. Okay, so the seat is 60-40 split, and so when you slide here you get 60%, and over there this other seat is 40%. So let's see what it is with. Okay, this is how I would configure the seat for the passenger at the back. So let's see how much space they get. Okay, here's me in the rear seat, and there's just enough space. Okay, the front seat is slid forward, and there's about 3 inches of forward sliding, and there's just enough space for me. I'm 1.6 something meters in height, and the little headrest goes up. Let's see, can it recline? Nope, it's a fixed seat, and this is how I would sit just enough room for an average size person. Okay, so this is a 5+2, but it's quite a decent space. You can sit here if you want to go for lunch lah. Okay. Also, there's a center armrest that allows you to have a bit of comfort if it's just two people sitting at the back. Elsewhere, you get aircon louvers at the back, and you also have the option to control the fan speed. Okay, that's the meter. Very interesting. You can change the view of the meter. It also has a navigation, but this area is not mapped. And for personal, you can also have your ref counter like this, and your speedo here, and your remaining range. You also get to see a minimum kind of metering where you see nothing but just the speed, so you have options of what you're gonna do. And if you want dials, here you go. So, and then here is the screen, the 10-inch screen. You have lane departure warning. Okay, we turn it off. Then you have parking sensors, blind spot monitoring, your tire monitor, also of course your aircon controls. And on top of that, you also have manual controls for your radio. You can use this to, and it's a touch screen, you can tune your favorite stations. Then you have your aircon. This is your aircon controller, and you can also use the touch screen to control the temperature or the fan speed. Yeah, so you can control where you want the air to come. And of course, max aircon is when it's very hot, you need to have aircon. Then you can have the max aircon on, and on top of that, you also have this one is, yeah, this is the GPS down here, manual control for those who don't like the touchscreen. And also this is for the car driving systems. This is your phone, you can connect your phone through this one, and this is your overall menu, and also your emergency flasher. So all are there. And down there you have the door lock, your defrost, your outside air, inside air, and your one is front, one is rear, I'm not sure which. And this is your radio volume. Yep. And down here you have a HDC, which is hill descent control. Then your terrain control, you can have traction control off. Okay, then it shows there. Okay, so let's see. ESP control off. Then you have your normal mode. Then you have snow mode. Then you have mud mode, and you have sand mode. Yep. So this is normal is over here. So these are all the modes that you use. And over here you have your parking brake. It's an auto brake. When you lift off, it's an auto brake, and when you take off in drive, it will disengage. This is your manual engagement switch, and this is your electronic parking brake, your sports button, and a cubby hole for you to keep your key. Okay guys, that's it for our quick walk around for the Peugeot 5008. And don't forget, we also sell Peugeot through our channel. And if you're interested to buy this one or any other Peugeots, please do drop us a WhatsApp at 016 335 0609. Thank you again for all your support, and till we meet again in the next video. Bye bye.